What's up, everybody? It's your girl Samantha Lee. I'm sorry, you guys, for being late. Tonight was one of those nights where everything was going crazy, and so I could not get myself together to save my life. But I am here as promised. So welcome everybody to the chat. Welcome to the show. And we're gonna get more people that come on. So go ahead, get these likes up. Let's get up into this algorithm. Y'all already know what time it is. Let me say hi to all of our regulars, our Game Changer Nation, our regulars. We have just Ryan from NOLA saying, Sam, you got something good for me tonight? I think so. I think I got something good for you. I hope so. I've got quite an opinion. May not be a popular one, but I got an opinion. Lanai is in the chat. What's up? Jason's in the chat. Randy's in the chat. What's up? He said, hi, Sam. Blessings to you. Blessings to you too as well. Memphis. Tyrone, I see Vaughn. What's up? Pam got her thing going on. Rodney's in the chat. Travis says, I love the shirt. G-Fam said, all 15. What up? All 15 what? What you saying? I guess you must be on the I don't know what it is. But anyway, guys, I don't care if it's 15, it might be 20, it might be 120, it might be 1,020. Your girl's going to get it going. So tonight's episode, you guys, I called it Manifesting or Misleading. Reason why I said that was because there was a lot that I was seeing on the YouTube space, and I'm gonna get it going and start the conversation so that we can have this dialogue together. But what I started seeing was a lot of, I think a couple weeks ago. Let me go backwards before I go forwards, and then I'm gonna get into some pleasantries, and we'll get into the meat of the message. So what I had talked about a couple weeks ago was witchcraft. And witchcraft, biblically, is any type of manipulation, which we see a lot of manipulation today. We're seeing a lot of manipulation in a lot of different ways. We see manipulation on, people be manipulating. They use whatever they can use to manipulate however they need to manipulate to get what they need to get from people. Okay, we see a lot of that today. A lot of you guys will see me looking around. It's because I got a puppy. All right. And the puppy is doing what the puppy does. Okay. So if you see me looking around, it's because I see the puppy. She should be all right. She hasn't eaten anything. We should be all right, but she's in her mode right now. She got her second win. But anyway, manipulation in the Bible, any type of manipulation is witchcraft. Anytime, I'm gonna say that again, any type of manipulation. So if I'm love bombing you, it's manipulation. If I'm lying to you, it's manipulation. If I'm presenting myself as something that I'm not, it's manipulation. Any type of manipulation is witchcraft in the Bible. Okay. And so we see a lot of manipulation out here where people are utilizing whatever they can use to get what they need to get. Okay. And that's what's going to propel or start our conversation today. Okay. Because what happened was I was going through these YouTube streets, and I'll be honest with you, I get into the spiritual word. I get into I like watching some of the spiritual content that I see, and I got into a lot of prophetic word. These prophetic words were talking about you're going to meet your husband, kingdom spouse. Anybody seen these kingdom spouse things online? Oh, you're going to meet your kingdom spouse tomorrow. Your kingdom spouse is coming in this season. Your kingdom spouse is coming, and he's coming tomorrow, or, coming next month, and he's going to be 6'2", and he's going to be this and that. And like you got these kingdom spouse things is coming. It's all over the place. You just look it up. It's prophetic. It's happening. And all over YouTube. John is saying it. He sees it all over YouTube. And at first I was like, oh, I like listening to it, but I started feeling a spirit of confusion. And I think it was because God was saying to me, like, that's not true for me. Right. So it didn't resonate with my spirit, but then I was reading scripture, and there was a scripture that was talking about how Jesus was saying that they're prophesying in my name, but I don't know them. He's like, they're prophesying. They're saying that they're saying it in my name. They're saying that these words come from me, but I don't know these people. I didn't give them the word. And that resonated with me. because there's a lot of people out here that are speaking in God's name, that are they're using scriptures in and out inadvertently to get clicks, likes, and all these different things, preying on people's desperation and desire to be married, to find their person, utilizing, oh, your kingdom spouse is coming tomorrow. Oh, your kingdom spouse, kingdom spouse, kingdom spouse. And then there's another group of people, right? Y'all, I don't want to get too excited because I'm gonna go in a lot of different directions. We're gonna start this conversation off. We gonna do this thing, okay? Utilizing people's desire for marriage and connection to, I guess, profit off of that. And giving people, I'm not trying to say false hope, but I'm saying you're giving them this idea that, oh, hey, listen, this person's gonna come, and then this person doesn't come, and now you're ruining their relationship with God because they're like, oh, well, God, I thought you told this girl on the internet that my kingdom spouse was coming, and my kingdom spouse ain't here. I thought you said my kingdom spouse was coming in an Amazon package, and my kingdom spouse has not come in an Amazon package. Where are you, Lord? Okay. And so for me, I feel like that's misleading, right? And I think that God does not give us tracking numbers for our kingdom spouse. And, to be honest with y'all, I want somebody to show me where in scripture it says there is a kingdom spouse. Where does it say kingdom spouse is coming? God got a kingdom spouse for you. We can deduce that a God that is going to give us all that we need and all that we desire according to his riches and his glory is going to provide us with a spouse, because that is the desires of our heart. And he gave us that desire. I don't believe that we have desires for no reason. However, there is nowhere in scripture that talks about a kingdom spouse. Nowhere. Y'all can Google it now. Humor me. Go ahead. I don't know where it says God shall giveth thou a kingdom spouse, and thou shalt have it the kingdom spouse by thy ageth of 40. No, that's not scripture. Kingdom spouse is a thing we came up with because it sounds good. And we like it. Honestly, let's be real. Listen, y'all, I love the church. I am a church goer. I go every Sunday. It is I hate to call it this, but it's like my medication. I love being in a church building. I love worshiping God. I love being in the atmosphere with other believers. It does something for my spirit. However, there's a lot of women that go to church. And I think a lot of people have used women's desire against us to profit off of us, and got us believing and thinking and hoping and praying and believing that there is that God is going to do these things, and we don't have to do any of these things. We don't have to participate. We don't have to participate in what God is doing in our lives. We could just pray and say, God, give me this man and make him fine to me, Lord, and make sure he got this. He got this going on in his life. He got that going on. And he looked like this and he looked like that. No, that's not exactly how God works. It's a mass deception that is occurring. You're right, the mountain. And it's utilizing our desires for connection against us. And therefore, it makes us feel like we don't have to put ourselves out there. It makes us feel like we don't have to try. It makes us feel like we don't have to settle or figure out what our level is or what's realistic for us. We can just put on a board everything that we desire, and we don't have to get better. We don't have to try harder. We don't have to do anything more. We could just say, God, I want this man, and I'm going to write all these characteristics. Bring them to me, Lord. Amen. In Jesus' name. Let me tie it to the church, since the church told me to give in faith. So I'm going to give in faith that my kingdom spouse is on his way, and he's going to be everything that I put on this board. That's not true. It's not real. It's not real. Do I feel like, thank you. Thank you. Some of you guys are saying what's up. They're saying kingdom spouse doesn't say anything about specifics as far as looks. Kingdom spouse There's nothing about a kingdom spouse, Nathan, nowhere in the Bible. Tell me where that's at. Now, here's the thing, you guys. What you do see in the Bible, and like, just hear me clear. You see that people are going after what they're attracted to. God gave them an attraction, and their attraction had a purpose. And I'm going to give you an example. Samson in the Bible. It's my prime example, but there's other examples I can give. But Samson was given the specific attraction for Philistine women to be a thorn in the side for the Philistines. His attraction was purposeful. They in the beginning of the book, it says his family didn't understand why he was attracted to Philistine women, i.e. foreign women. Why he liked this foreign women. God, I don't understand why our son who was supposed to be Hebrew and supposed to be everything right, why he liked these foreign women. And it says after that God had given him that attraction for a purpose. What was the purpose? To be a thorn in the side of the Philistines. So in my opinion, I think God gives us an attraction. So I think that your spouse you're going to be attracted to. However, that does not necessarily mean they're going to be wrapped up in the package that you thought they would be wrapped up in. I think some of us get stuck on a package, like it has to look like this or else. And I'm not here to like crash people's dreams, and I'm not here to crush people's like, oh, Sam, you're here and I've been believing for this man, or I've been believing for this woman, or I believe the reality is the reality, y'all. Part of this title I couldn't even fit on here, but it's called Settling versus Reality. And I'm not trying to step on toes. I'm just trying to keep it real. Because the reality is what we're seeing in society today is what's keeping us single. Y'all heard me correctly. Look, and here's the thing, y'all. I can tell you why I'm single. I can tell you why your girl's single. If y'all want to know. However, I'm just saying. Rodney Rather is saying, check YouTube. There are plenty of videos of who God brought together. Rodney, again, I will say, I want you to show me the verse where there is a kingdom spouse. Show me the verse. I can hear testimonies. God has done a lot of things. I believe God has brought people together. And I didn't say God didn't bring people together. What I am saying is there's a kingdom spouse. A lot of people be reaching out to me saying, you're my kingdom spouse, Sam. You're my kingdom spouse. I know that you're my kingdom spouse. You're my wife. I don't know you. And that's not to say one way or the other, but a lot of people, there's been times where people will come at me in a message and say to me, you're being disobedient. I don't know you. And the reality is, if you were my kingdom spouse, God wouldn't allow that to occur that way. I'm just keeping it real. God would make you a parent to me. God will put you in my face. And I'd be like, oh, okay, I see you, God. There he is. I know who that is. The reality is God will because a lot of people, y'all, I saw a story. And let me, I'm sorry, y'all. I see the Cash App. We see the Cash Apps going. I want to thank you guys first and foremost before I get into this, because I got excited about this topic. I want to thank everybody that's reaching out and hit me up on the Cash Apps. Thank you for everybody that supports the shows or supports the podcast. I want to thank each and every one of y'all. Y'all are so amazing. Y'all are so dope. Y'all support me and have supported me for so long. Sparkle, absolutely not. No, ma'am. Sparkle, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. I don't know where you are, but I can tell it's a no. Hold on, y'all. Oh, okay. She's fine. Sorry. I want to thank everybody that supports me. I want to thank all you guys. Y'all have rocked with me. We're going on 2 years together, y'all. Some of y'all have been rocking with me for 2 years. And so I want to say thank you guys for just being present. Thank you guys for supporting me. It's no secret that this is not an easy task to do the show, to put out content, to be live every Wednesday night, to be consistent. None of this is easy. None of this is easy. Pam kind of knows the behind the scenes now. It's not easy. None of this is easy. Getting in front of camera, not always easy. I enjoy doing what I'm doing. Obviously, I thank God for the ability to do it because it doesn't feel like work, but it's not easy. So I thank each and every one of you guys for just the support that you provide to us. And I'm believing that God is going to make it grow. I'm believing, I don't know what delay or what block the enemy has, but I rebuke and bind it in the name of Jesus. I just do. Okay? Anyway, let's continue, you guys. Let's continue. I apologize because we gonna keep that going. The reference to kingdom spouse is a twist on the bride of Christ, that the marriage will take place under heavenly kingdom rule. But the bride of Christ, Lanaya, is bride of Christ is us, essentially. The bride of Christ is the church. Those who have given their life to Christ. We are the bride of Christ. And we marry Christ, the one who gave his life for our salvation. So I understand where the kingdom spouse came from. Again, I understand that. Here's the thing. The reality is a lot of people are making their own stuff and they're making it God. Like their own feelings, they're making it God. I'm calling it out as I'm seeing it. People are going to be upset with me. It's okay. Just because you feel it don't mean God gave it to you. Just because you feel it don't mean God gave it to you. There's people be like, you know what, Sam, you're my kingdom spouse. Okay, I understand you might feel that I might be your person. But if God did not give me a mutual attraction to you, then I am not your kingdom spouse. Here's why I say that, family. I've actually had an experience years ago where I was at a school and there was somebody that had basically they had told me that if I didn't marry them and I didn't find an attraction to them, I'd be going against God. Okay. This is when I was in my early 20s, y'all. I was like 19 years old. All right. I didn't know any better. And I was so confused. I basically threw up. All right. And so what happened was I had to call another pastor, and then I got involved with a whole other ministry that was worse than the ones that I started. But long story short was that I realized in that instance that God is going to confirm. He's not going to give you somebody you're not attracted to. He's not going to give you somebody that there's not a mutual drawing towards. Okay. God is somebody, Tribal wrote in this, guys, and I don't want to be all over the place. Tribal, I don't think God works in attraction per se. I think Tribal, he absolutely does work in attraction. He absolutely works in attraction. He created attraction. We talk about sex, but he created that too. So for me, we're not going into like, oh God, why, did God create attraction? God created attraction. He know what we like. He created me to look the way I look. He created for you to look the way you look. There's a purpose. This is why I'm saying what I'm saying. I'm saying all of this to say that a lot of us, because of certain movements that are going around, we are not being realistic. And I know that, Kevin Samuels had his movement, and I don't necessarily agree with the way Kevin Samuels went about his movement. Let me start there. I don't like the way he did things, but there was some understanding to some people had delusional expectations based upon where they were in life, from the seat to where they were sitting. And there are people that hold on to those things. And it's like, I'm frustrated a little bit because I feel like people get upset with the reality of what it is. Like, here's the reality, family. I'm telling myself, listen, I'm in the hot seat. I'll put myself in the hot seat. Sam is in the hot seat. Okay? I'm in my 30s. I have a daughter. I've been divorced. That may not be everybody's cup of tea. And I'm okay with that. The cup of teas that want me, there's some people that want to sip my tea. Even with me being in my 30s, even with me having a child, even with me being divorced, they want to sip my tea, and I'm okay with that. And there's people that don't want to sip my tea because because of my situation. I'm not mad. I am not upset. Why? Because I've accepted it. I have accepted the fact that at the end of the day, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Okay, I'm going to address this. Since Rodney, you want my attention. Deuces, Sam, I hope after this live you go to God to confirm and give you revelation. Rodney, I hope that you go to God. And I hope that God gives you a revelation and that you listen to what God is telling you. Okay? Because I think on some level, from some of the message you send to me, they're back and forth, Rodney. 1 minute you're on, 1 minute you're off. I'm keeping it real on this live today. 1 minute you're hot, 1 minute you're cold. You're upset with me, you're cool with me. So I let it go. Because it's whatever. But I feel like there's confusion within your own spirit, and I think it's because your desires and God's desires are not aligning. I think you need to go to God for revelation. I'm just keeping it 100. Because God also, Jesus was the type of individual that when the storms came, he was still. He was stable. He was stable that no matter what happened in his life, he did not move. His countenance did not change. I remember I listened to Joyce Meyer, and Joyce Meyer said to me, she said on the podcast, she said that the height of spiritual maturity was emotional stability. That is the height of spiritual maturity, was emotional stability. That when somebody can remain stable, no matter what is going on, no matter what is happening, that is a person that has reached spiritual maturity. That when people are up and they're down and they're all over the place emotionally, that is not an indication of spiritual maturity. That's an indication that they are being up and down with flesh. And so I have had to have a conversation with self. I'm not gonna lie, because let me tell you, I am up and down. I am. I'm not gonna lie. I am. I'm an emotional person. I'm an emotional person. And I've had to talk to God. And I've had to have real conversations with self. Because at the end of the day, I need to be at a place of peace no matter what happens in my life. Because in the midst of the storm, look at Jesus. When he faced death, he was at peace. He was facing, and that is our example. Anyway, that's besides the point. Whole point. Let's keep it moving. So, my whole point is this. As we move forward in this conversation, I say this to say that a lot of people, because of their spirituality, and I'm even going to say, sorry, y'all, my dog. Good job, Sparkle Workle. Good job. She went pee-pee on the potty bag. Good job, mama. 1 second, y'all. Let me get her treat. Good job. Such a good job. apologize, you guys. My whole point in saying this is that a lot of people, because they're not being realistic with self, you know, they want to make it, I think a lot of it becomes, you know, this is what I want. Oh, y'all want to see Sparkle? Okay. Come on. Say hi, everybody. Hi. Hello. It's Sparkle. It's Sparkle. Anyway, guys. So that's the point. So back to what I was saying. Back to what I was saying, y'all. So all I'm saying is this. Is this because we're not talking about, I don't want to make this, because not everybody on here is Christian. Not everybody on here believes in God, because that's not what I'm saying. But even in this law of attraction and manifestation thing, right? Because I've seen a lot of that too, where people are saying they want somebody, they see somebody online that they desire, whether it's people do it with the kingdom spouse thing, like, oh, this is my kingdom spouse, I want this woman, I want this man, God, this is my husband, I have this desire for this woman, so now she's my kingdom spouse, period. And like, because that's their desire and they feel it so strongly, they make it God, and it's not God, it's them. They want her as their wife, or they want that man as their husband. That's not God. Right? And so now with the law of attraction, it's the same thing. Now we're talking about energy. Oh, I feel very strongly about this person. My energy is saying that this person is my person. Now, I do believe in energy, and I do believe in vibes, and I do believe in spirit. I believe in all of these things, right? But the reality of the situation, guys, is that a lot of times it's not, when it's not mutual, it's not God. There's so many different things going on. There's so many different trains of thought that are happening. The problem is that we have people that are not accepting of where they are, right? It's like, and I'm going to use like myself as an example. Somebody says, I want Sam. And even though Sam may not be in where I'm at right now, or she might not be in my league, she might not be where I'm at, I want Sam. So I'm going to use all these spiritual manipulations. I'm going to believe in all these streams of thoughts. I'm going to affirm and speak it into existence because that's who I want. Versus understanding exactly, you might be so fixated on a human being that you have decided is for you, instead of allowing God to bring into your life who is for you. Like, you might be so fixated on somebody, I don't know. I've seen a lot of women do this. I've seen men do this. They get so fixated on a person that it's like they don't even see people in real life. There may be people that they're seeing every single day that are their person, but they're so fixated on this person online that that's not really in their wheelhouse. It's not real. It's not real. In real life, they're not in the same boat. Because social media exists, we are aware of what is not in our boat, and it makes it hard for us to accept what's in our boat. And I'm saying that from a place of knowing exactly where that is, because I've been there, family. I know what that's like. Let's get these likes up, y'all. Let's get these likes up. Let's get these likes up. And also, I want to thank you guys in advance for those who have hit the Cash App and who have hit the Super Chats. Again, we have Tommy. Thank you, Tommy. Tommy, you have been so dope. Thank you so much, sir. You have been so amazing. So amazing in just giving. Thank you. Just consistent. Thank you. Thank you. So again, guys, I want to say, for every single person that's on here, it's not like, all of this manifestation in the spiritual and the kingdom spouse is like now we're allowing our feelings for people. This is my point. Our feelings for people, what we desire to lead us. Oh, I think that Sam's what's best for me. Sam's definitely what's best for me because Sam looks the way I want her to look. Sam talks the way I want her to talk. Sam is the way I want her to be. So Sam is what's best for me. So I don't care what really be in my boat for real. I don't care really what's in my league for real. I want Sam. And then you get mad because what's really in your boat, you're no longer saying what's in your boat. If they ain't Sam, you ain't happy. But Sam you just got to see Sam. You got to experience Sam because we are on social media. We now get to see a Sam, and we might not have seen a Sam unless we saw her online. I mean, the YouTube verse and the social media verse has allowed us to see people that we would have never seen in any other way. Any other content is good, bad. It's both. Because now we can, comparison is a thief of joy, right? You might be in Chicago. You might be in Oakland. You might be in Seattle, Washington. You might be in New York City, New York. Wherever you are, you only had to deal with those who were in your locale. But now you got to deal with the reality of people that are all over the world. And you're like, God, that's my kingdom spouse. I just saw him on the internet. He looks the way he looks. He talks the way I want him to talk. And he's just perfect for me. And I'm not settling for anything less than that because he is amazing. He's so smart and he's so this and he's so that. And you're like, and God's like, that ain't in your boat, sis. I'm going to give a wild example. Michael B. Jordan. There might be women looking at Michael B. Jordan right now being like, ooh, girl, Michael B. Jordan, my next man, girl. If it ain't Michael B. Jordan, it ain't nobody that I'm desiring because it got to be Michael B. It's not. There's a lot that we have to understand, family. Michael B. Jordan not realistic for you. Let's be real. Like I'm just gonna speak from where I'm at in the world. We in Beaufort, Georgia, Tequila, Georgia, Lawrenceville, Georgia, Gwinnett County, Georgia. We Marietta, Georgia, Buckhead, Georgia. Wherever you are, we in Georgia. We in Louisiana. It's like, wait, hold on. Okay, you're not even near this man. So you overlooking everybody in your area, Duval County. You looking over everybody in your area. And you're like, no, I want that person. I don't know anything about them in real life. All I know is what they look like online. All I know is how they present. All I know is how they look in movies. All I know is what they sound like in songs. That's all I know. And I want them. And that's it, period. That's it. I don't want what's really really for me. And now you can't, you by yourself. Because now you can't even be okay with what's really always been in your boat. You're not okay with what's actually in your league because now you're saying you want Michael B. Jordan. Unfortunately, that's not everybody's league. There's a certain women he gonna find attractive. It's gonna be creme de la creme. If there's gonna be certain men that trying to think of a woman online that's I can't think of a woman online, but y'all know there's women online that are bad or whatever, they got a lot of followers. That woman, you got to be, there's this certain level, and we have to be aware, or not aware. It's not even about being aware. It's like being realistic. It's okay to say to have faith, like I'm, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. But we have to be realistic. I'm not saying you can't have faith. I'm not saying you can't be hopeful. But sometimes we're holding out for that person and just being like, God, I want myself to be excited about someone like that. And so I'm really want to get into what my meat of the message, but the beginning part, the intro, is like we're getting so caught up in what we see, how people seem, and we get so engrossed and in love and just like, oh, I'm really infatuated with this person because I'm seeing them, I'm talking to them, I love the way that they think, I love the way that they present themselves, I love that, right? And you get into that headspace, and then it becomes very, very hard for you, very, very hard for you to see anybody else, even men. Because as much as we want to say men can see this, that, and the third, I think that there's men can say that, whatever, but there's always going to be there's always going to be a woman that has your peak interest. There's a woman that's like, if she ever came around, that's the one. I don't care. It's the same thing with women. If that man, if there's a man that come around, y'all better watch out. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. But I say all of this. This is where I'm trying to get us to the place of where I'm going. So I hope we have an understanding now. What I'm saying is our access to seeing different people that may not necessarily be in our league, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but it's making us feel like we're settling when we're just being realistic. I'm going to say that again. It makes us feel like we're settling when we're just being realistic. I've met some men, I'm like, I want me a 9 or a 10, and they got to be this, that, and the third, and stack back, dip, but that, and they got to be but that. I'm like, okay, so what's your favorite sport? Who your favorite rapper? Who you voting for? Why you ask me that, Sam? Because they probably all want the same chick. You trying to bat the 8, 9s, and 10s. You batting in the same league as those guys right there. 9s and 10s, that's the same league. So if you feel like you can measure up, guys will be like, I feel like I'm settling. Do you feel like you can measure up with those types of guys? If you feel like you can play in the league, then play with them. See if you can play with them. But if you can't play with them, get out the league, because some of y'all be acting like y'all want certain types of women and they get mad because when you get into there, oh, they're this way. They play too many games. They're this. I just feel like she's talking to so many different dudes and I don't know how. That is what you sign up for. When you decide to get with women, that's because you're in competition with the best of the best. Just like if a woman, vice versa, if she walking up in there and she tells me, I want to be with this guy who's top 1%, which I read top 1% is like what? A man it's somebody that's making 800,000 or more. That's top 1%. Y'all hear me? Top 1% is making 800,000 or more. That's top 1%. So if you're saying I want to compete with the top 1% of this type of person because I want those top 1% of women and I can play that game, then you have to be okay. That's the same thing with women. If women want the top 1% of men, which means men that are making 800,000 or more, then they have to put themselves, you're going to have to deal with what comes with that. That's competition. Oh, he's playing games. He's talking to all these women. I don't understand. It's just that's just what comes with it, family. It's just what it is. The quicker you're okay with it, the quicker you'll be all right. Know what you're looking for. Know what you're bringing to the table, and decide who you're going to be in this game. But we cannot be mad at like certain things that come with certain groups of people. And so that's where it's like, okay, if I feel so uncomfortable in this league, I now have to start batting in my league. I have to start figuring out what my league is. And that's not disrespectful. That's not degrading you. That's just being realistic. Because as much as we talk about Kevin Samuels saying things to women and coming at women, he came at men too. He told men, you're crazy. You want a what? What's your size? What do you do? How much money you make? Da, da, da. How can you possibly think that you're going to get the creme de la creme with women the way that you look or the way that you act or how much money you make? He definitely came at men too. Because at the end of the day, we all have to be realistic. And the problem is a lot of us are not okay with reality. So we end up spending more time and investing more time in a virtual reality and getting engrossed in this virtuality so much so. What's the problem, Sparkle? No. You want to come up? What's the problem? What's the problem? So much so, she's going to make the point with me. So much so that we be trying and focusing and doing everything and affirming and doing whatever we got to do to get the person that we desire, but we are not thinking about the fact that, listen, the reality is, where am I? Where am I right now in my life? What can I realistically attract? Like what can I realistically attract? That's not being you might go to the mall. You might be in Memphis, Tennessee. Somebody says it's Memphis for your soul, so I'm going with Memphis. You go to the mall, you can probably get you the baddest chick in the Memphis mall. What's wrong with that? But now, because we can't get the one of the baddest chicks on the Instagram, on the Instagram waves, period, we mad. We like, man, if I'm not getting with her, I'm not getting nobody. I'm just gonna stay by myself and stay single. Because if I can't get 8, 9s, and 10s, and I can't get an 8, 9, and 10 that's gonna cook me breakfast, make my lunch, and she gonna make my bed, rub my feet, scratch my toes, I don't want her. It's like, bro, what are you talking about? If I can't get you to walk up in my house and cook me dinner, I don't want nobody. I'm just gonna be by myself. It's like, why? There's lots of women, and you might be overlooking super bad women that just may not have Instagram. They just live in your city. They're just out here, just minding their business, playing with puppies. Or I'll be a girl now. I did a man too. So I'm going to do girl now so that you guys don't feel like I'm just going after one. I'm just going to do girl. If he's not 6'4", totally in shape, I prefer him to play a sport currently, but if he doesn't, he needs to have been playing a sport. If he's not 6'4", full head of hair, what else? He's got to drive a really, really nice car. He's got to live in a house. He got to drive a Lamborghini truck. He got to have. He's got to make at least $400,000 a year, nothing less. Can't do it. It just doesn't make sense for me. It just doesn't make sense. If he doesn't drive a Bugatti, what are we doing? If he's not driving the white Bentley, where are we going? If we're not on the PJ, where are we going? It just doesn't make sense for me. I would just be settling. Girl, where do you work? And these be the ones that be working. They be a waitress somewhere. An influencer and a waitress. No disrespect, but I'm just saying they be the ones. I am an influencer. I'm an influencer too, so I'm not even hating because I influence. I understand. I get paid from that. I'm an influencer, and I just can't. Like, do I look like I could be in anything else? Yes, you can. You can. You absolutely can. The reality is the reality. That is just the reality. Like, I just feel like a lot of people, they don't want to be realistic about what's really like. So anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. Somebody hit me with the cat. Thank you. Oh, look, Tommy. Y'all can't let Tommy just be the one tonight. Let's get some super chats going. Come on, let's get some super chats going. Let's get it going. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you so much. We gotta clap it up for Tommy. Okay, so here's what I have to say, y'all. So I know I went in, I did my little impressions. Here, let's be serious. Now that I've already said what I need to say, we've talked about how there's a problem. Come on, Travis, talking about the tarot cards. We getting there. We're getting there. Family, let's get these likes up. We're getting there. We're going to that level. That's what we're talking about now. What's happening is now, because people want what they want and they're not willing to do anything else, they're doing manipulation, family. And we talk about the witchcraft, and we're talking about the tarot cards. We're talking about the law of attraction. We're trying to manipulate spiritual things to get people to be interested in us. Like, I just saw I just saw videos where this guy is teaching people, get him to text you in 10 minutes. Get him to text you in 10 minutes by doing this. Get her to text you back in 3 minutes by doing this. Get a text from your, it's like SO or significant other or whatever. Like, they're doing things to manipulate spirituality to get people to do things against their will. Dub Boy saying that's desperate. No, it's not desperate. It's real life, Dub Boy. Look in the YouTube face. Look at TikTok. Look at Instagram. People are because they want what they want, and they're not willing to say, maybe this is not in my league. Maybe there is people in my hometown that do me. You can't tell me. Like, I can't say, even in my hometown or where I'm at, I can't say there's nobody here at all. I haven't looked at everybody. So I can't say that I haven't found that there's just no one here. Because that's not true. I don't know that. The reality is a lot of us just get hooked up on, fixated on a person. Y'all see me throwing my hair around. Fixated on a human being. And we do not, we don't leave room for anyone else. And so now we're manipulating spiritual forces in high dark places, not realizing what happens on the other side of that. You're doing love spells, and there's people, literally, family, that are taking photos of you, making it black and white, and doing spells on you. Real talk. It's happening. And if you're not prayed up and if you're not spiritually minded, it could be happening to you right now. But people are like law of attract, like trying to attract specific people. They're trying to attract specific things. They're trying to speak into existence certain things. They don't understand the power. They don't understand. It's not even the power, you guys, because it's not power. The disastrous effects of doing that. That's disastrous. What do you mean, Sam? Because you doing that could destroy you. Because you playing with dark forces. So if you're utilizing dark forces to accomplish a mission, and that mission doesn't come to fruition, guess what happens? It comes back on you. You start losing hair. You start losing opportunities. You start losing money. You start losing family members. That's what happens. Because the dark energy stays around you. You start losing sleep. You start not having nightmares. You start wondering why family members are dying around you, like dropping like flies, because you decided you wanted a person so bad. You decided, I want somebody so bad that I'm willing to put a spell on them, and I think that that's all is free and clear. I do this spell and then it's over with. No, it comes back on you, family. It's not free and clear. Now you got this dark force and energy that you invited into your home. And now you're wondering why you can't sleep. You're wondering why you're waking up and a bill showing up. You're wondering why there's money being left. You're wondering why there's vandalism on your property. You're wondering why you just find bad fortune after bad misfortune. Because at some point when you play with dark, you get dark. You reap what you sow. It's gonna collect. Yeah, you trying to get that man, but it's coming for collection, baby. You trying to get that woman, but it's coming for collection. Y'all don't understand. Y'all playing with the law of attraction. And there's a bigger thing that I'm going to get to at the very end of this, at the end of this spiel. People are getting so caught up in what they want and who they envision for themselves. And they're not looking towards the people that are around them, that are in their league. Family, I've had honest conversations with Pam. I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all. And let's keep it with 100 in the chat. Let's keep it 100 in the chat tonight. I've said to Pam, I said, Pam, am I being unrealistic? Pam, do I want something that's like not something I can attain? You know, just ask. You know what I go for. You know what's going on with me. Oh, wow, DJ Red Rain, I'm going to read that. And Pam said, I had to have somebody that I knew was going to tell me the truth. I just said, Pam, am I being unrealistic? I asked Pam, and that's another friend of mine. I said, am I being unrealistic? Somebody that's not going to lie to me. And Pam was like, no, Sam. And Pam is a good person to me, because Pam will be like, I think Pam be telling me what she really believe about what level, who I should be with, what level she think I should be at. We need friends like that in our lives. We don't need a friend to be like, nah, bro, you need to be going after Beyonce. It's like, that's not real. Like, what do we, no, you can't get Beyonce. Beyonce's married, but I'm just giving an example. Beyonce was okay. Think outside the box. I'm just giving a ballpark. There are people that are mad about the level that they are on. They're mad about they're like, oh, I got money, so I should get any type of woman I want. That's not true, beloved, because it's not just about money. What, Sam? Yes. For some women, all you need is money. That is the only ticket you need to get anything you want. That's all you need. There's a lot more women. I'm going to say a lot more women. You need to be there's got to be, for a long lasting, for a relationship you desire, you need to be more, you got to bring more than money. I say this all the time, you got to make my body work. I remember I was communicating with somebody and he does very well for himself, and we were working on a project together, and he was saying, you know, I get girls and what are they gonna do? They gonna do this, they gonna do that. And to me, it was like, okay, that's what you want, but what about me? Because you got women that are coming at you like that. I got men coming at me like you. So what's gonna separate you from the rest of them? And I feel like, if just being honest, that should be everybody's perception. Because I'm not a dumb female. I'm not somebody that can't. I feel like I'm an asset. I feel like I have a lot to offer. I feel like I'm rough around the edges, though. I'm not gonna say I'm perfect. I ain't gonna say all that. However, you know, I have an idea. You know, whatever. That's besides the point. Y'all get what I'm saying. My whole point is that I think a lot of people, they think just because they got money or they got some type of success or whatever, they're like, oh, you know what? That's all I need. That's all I need. I just need a whole lot of money. And you know what, y'all? For some people, that's exactly right. That's all you need. But probably for the women you desire, you need a little bit more. Because to me, you're going to have to be fine to me. I'm just being honest. You're going to have to be fine. You can add money and I'll leave you. I will still leave you. Because money's not enough. How do you treat me? Are you respectful? Are you faithful? Are you loyal? Are you a man of your word? Do you have integrity? What's your character like? Money is just money. What about everything else? Now, it does get you more stuff. I'm not going to say you don't get access to more things, but I am saying, and you know what, Trav, you're saying something real right here. Saying you're going to need somebody to walk the dog with you. I had an epiphany about that. I had an epiphany about that recently. I thought about that. I'm like, I want somebody who's going to be there for me. Somebody I can trust that's going to be there for me. Somebody that's going to be solid. Like a rock. You know what I'm saying? I need somebody that can, because right now it's cool. Sam, fairly young. I'm healthy, whatever the case may be. But as we get older and time goes on, I need to be able to trust that you're going to be there for me, just like you got to trust that I'm going to be there for you. Yes, JB saying somebody I don't have to remind to pray, period. Exactly. Somebody you don't have to remind to pray. Somebody that you don't have to tell to have a spiritual relationship. They have it on their own. They have their own spiritual understandings. there's things that absolutely matter in the world. And I think a lot of us get caught up in looks, the appearance of things. And then once you get appearance and once you get looks, you understand that looks aren't everything. Just like if if you thought money was everything, you get with money, you find out money isn't everything. It's not everything. Just like when you get looks, when you get money, it's not everything. All right, y'all. I feel that I also fell in love with some girl. Come to find out she casting love spells on me. Got to be careful. Exactly, Red Pain. That is what I am saying. People today are selfish. It's like, I want you, so I'm going to manipulate spirits to get you to love me. That's not your person. If I've got to put a spell on you to get you to want me, you ain't my person. I might say, you know what, God, I desire him. I think he is fine. But I am not going against God. And that's where I really want to land this plane at, guys. The reality of the situation, y'all, and I don't want to jump, and we're going to get into the conversation. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I am not willing at this point in my life to go against God. And people could ask me and say a lot of things like, Sam, how can you believe there's a God? I believe there's a God. Just like you believe there isn't one, I believe there is one. My whole thing is this. I've chosen my own way. And I've made a lot of mistakes. I'm not willing to make the same mistake again. A lot of people don't understand that we think we know what's best for us. And the reality of the situation, family, is that if you look at our lives, if you look at the choices that you've made and I've made, it's because of what we've wanted. And I've broken my own heart doing that. Because what I wanted was not what God wanted. And so I've allowed God to have more of a say in my life. Because I've made my choices and I've broken my own heart. And I think a lot of people are caught up on superficial things that really, really don't matter. They're not willing to settle down because you not fine enough, or you ain't got enough money, or you ain't tall enough for you. The superficial BS stuff that don't matter. What matters is the content of a person, the genuineness of a person, the authenticity of a person. I can feel somebody's authenticity. And yes, I'm not saying other qualities don't matter, family, but the reality of the situation is that a lot of times we get so caught up on what it looks like that we're not thinking about what it actually is. So we praying and we casting spells and we're doing all these things to get a person, not even knowing what kind of person you're trying to get. What kind of person you trying to get? You over here praying, wishing, hoping for a woman that might be Jezebel. Jezebel reincarnated. You over here like if she came in your life, she about to set this thing on fire. And you praying, hoping, wishing for her to come into your life. You don't even realize what you're hoping for because all you see is a pretty picture. All you see is a pretty image. Even for those who might feel that way about me, I'm saying to you, you don't. I mean, I feel like I'm very authentic. I feel like I show myself on here. But there's aspects of me that even I don't know. That you might know when you're in close proximity to me. I'm a passionate person. I'm a passionate woman. That's not for everybody. And so I say all of this to say that a lot of people, they get so caught up in what they think is best for them based upon what it looks like on the outside. And that's dangerous because you really don't know people. You really don't know people. I'm telling y'all, you can meet somebody, you really don't know people. God knows people. God hears conversations you did not hear. He sees things you did not see. That's a good one. So I'm a Muslim, but there's a verse in one of our holy books that literally says, and they plotted and planned, but God too plans, but he is the best of planners. What we want isn't always what's best. That's the truth. That's the truth. Some of us think that based upon what it looks like, we think it's what's best for us. And we miss out on what's best for us because that looked like that was the best thing for us. You sabotage what is good for you for what you thought in the moment was good for you. And you've got to let God lead this journey. You can't be praying and speaking into existence and trying to manipulate spiritual things. First of all, because it comes with direct disastrous consequences. Angelic, that's what we say in our family, in our family, in our religion, in our spirituality too. It says that God willing. It says to say God willing. If it's best for me, or if God willing, absolutely. So I think it's great that we have that in common. We share that. God willing. God willing. That at the end of the day, family, we do not know what is best for us. And when we try to manipulate the will and we see things online, we think, I've had people that come at me and they're like, oh, I really want this girl. I really want this girl. I really want this girl. They get the girl and they're like, I can't stand this girl. They finally get the girl. They have the opportunity with the girl. And they're like, dang, I missed the girl I was talking to, because the girl I'm talking to now, she don't hold a candle to the one I was talking to. Her outside just looked so much better. But when I got to know her, she didn't hold a candle to what I was dealing with before. Family, we do not know. And only God knows what will be attractive today and tomorrow. And so when we are trying so hard to make our will happen, and we are trusting so much in what we believe and what we think is best for us, and we're trying to go to dark forces to make it happen, we have to understand, like, you don't know what's best for you, family. You just don't. You don't. Just like I didn't. I've come to a place in my own life, family, I'm just going to speak on me. I'm like, okay, God, I surrender it. When I talk to people, I'm like, listen, God, I'm giving it to you. I surrender. And it's a dangerous prayer because as soon as I pray it, God's going to reveal something to me. He's going to show me something. I'm going to feel something. I'm like, oh, Lord. There's only been a few people, very, very few people that it just hasn't happened with. And when I say few, I mean probably one or two. But we have to understand. We have to be mindful, family. That when we're talking about spirituality, when we're talking about relationships, when we're talking about who we're going to be with, we cannot get so caught up in what we see that we lose sight of God's plan. And I'm seeing this YouTube space where you're seeing spells, you're seeing law of attraction affirmations to get the person that you want to text you in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You're seeing these TikTok videos. You're seeing all this manipulation. You're seeing you're just like seeing a whole bunch of different things, because people are at this point in life, people are so desperate to get what they want that they are willing to do whatever it takes to make it happen, not understanding that the one thing that they want could be the one thing that will hurt them, that will kill them, that might have disastrous consequences to them. That part of like surrendering to God's will is understanding that his will is perfect. That what is best for me, he's going to bring to me. So when I see a lot of people, and no matter what religion you're in, everybody has the same premise when it comes to religion, because I have different people that watch me from all different religions. We can all agree from every religious standpoint, God knows what's best. So when you're out here making decisions and you're not coachable, you're not humble, and you're not open to God's interpretation of the facts, God's interpretations of your purpose, and you're just like, oh, well, I know everything, so I'm just going to choose this and I'm going to start messing with witchcraft to make it happen. That's crazy, family. I really believe that there's been people that have tried to mess with my spirit and do different things. I'm like, no, I rebuke and bind that. No, you ain't finna get me. Mm-mm. Because what God has for me is for me. And I'm not willing to try so hard to make what I want to happen. Like, even there's certain people in my life, even if it's dating or relationships, if it's not God's timing, if it's not the time, I'm not going to make it happen. I'm not going to force my will to happen. I'm going to allow it to happen. I'm allow the song to play how it plays. I'm allow the man to lead how it leads. I'm not going to force my will, because I trust God's timing. I trust his will. I trust his plan. I've been the girl that have tried to make things happen in my own time. And I've been the person that have said, like, I really want this guy and I really want this relationship. So I'm going to do this and settle with that and do this and do. And I've been brokenhearted, family. I have broken my heart. I have literally torn my heart in two. Because I wasn't being true to me. I was doing everything it took. I was doing everything it took to stay in a relationship, to keep somebody in my life that should not have been there. Hit the like button, family. Hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. So, family, I've said enough about what where I wanted to go today with this content move, is really just talking about we are being misled. We're being misled. And we're trying so hard to make our will happen that we're not allowing God's will to occur. We want people so bad, we not even thinking about the fact that we don't really know them. We just like, oh, I want them. They look like somebody I want. They might be amazing people, but they may not be the people for you. Overlooking good people because you so fixated on a person on the internet that you have never met, never seen, don't know nothing about. Right? You don't even know they like you back. You don't know if you're just in limerence with someone you don't even know. No. Mm-mm. All right. So, family, I'm going to read the comments now. I don't want to stay, harp on and beat a dead horse like I normally do. I really want to take these last 15 minutes. I want to answer questions. I want to have a dialogue. Let's have a conversation, game changers. Let's have a conversation. JB says, yes, that's it. And we have no idea what's around the corner. Exactly, JB. We don't. We don't. We don't have any idea what's around the corner. Somebody said pray tonight, full moon rituals. I've heard about that, y'all. Definitely pray, speak scripture over yourself, rebuke and bind. Um, Kay has asked me a million times, what do you look for in a man in dating these days? What do I look for in a man in dating these days? Um, hmm. I've actually put out content about this. I think I put the 10 things I look for in a guy. Do I still have it in my phone? Let me see. I might have it written down. Um, I don't know. Maybe I don't have it. Is it 10 things? Or is it 7 things? Uh I don't know. Maybe I don't have it. I'm sure I have it somewhere. I gotta find it. It's somewhere out here. But I know that I had a piece of content where I basically, in a nutshell, I wanted to give you a more complete answer. But first things first, you guys, it's got to be the spiritual alignment. And when I say spiritual alignment, that means God's okay with it. I be praying. I'll put a name on my prayer wall, and I say, God, have your way. I'm like, God, have your way. And if that name, I promise y'all, if that name lasts on that board 7 days, it's a miracle. Something gonna happen. I mean, it just God is just one of those. He will reveal something to me. He'll show me something, and it's like, okay, it's like a just a spiritual, just like, okay, this is it. It's in accordance with my spirit. Like this person is not. I'm at peace with the situation, right? So definitely that. Um, Number 2 is I got to be attracted to this guy. You know, whoever this guy is, I got to be attracted to him. I'm not one of those people that can go against my attraction, because I think attraction is a very important thing. So attraction. Um, Another thing that I will say that I look for, genuine. I don't like it. There's guys will come in and they're genuine. I can feel that they're genuine. And then there's people that will um speak to me and I feel like they're just telling me everything I want to hear. I rather you tell me everything I want to hear and we decide to go left than for me to feel like you're not being honest with me. To me, that's a huge turn off when I don't feel like someone's being honest. So that's genuine and authenticity is very important to me. Somebody being secure with who they are, who they are, where they are, what they do. Security is important. I said this daddy energy, man who got daddy energy. I like that. Daddy energy is protector and provider energy. So daddy energy is something that's very attractive to me. A man that doesn't, a man who has self-control over emotions. I don't want a man who don't have no emotions, but I do want a man that has control over his emotions. I'm an emotional person, and I do want someone who can be the calm in my storm, just like I could be the calm in his. I like an emotional man, but I don't like emotional man that doesn't have any control, who lets anger have its way. Bible says a man that lets anger have its way is like a city with no walls. And so I would rather just have a man that's, has control, ultimately has control over his emotions. A leader. I said daddy energy, but yes, a leader. I like a leader. I like a strong man. I like a man that likes to lead, because I like to play follow the leader. So I need me a leader. I can't think. I mean, that's pretty much what I can come up with right now. I did say somebody who's a care. I like men that, that will be there for me just like I'll be there for them. I think I've met a lot of men that they want somebody that's going to be there for them, cook for them, be there, cuddle with them, love on them. But who's going to be there for me? I understand my role. What are you going to be for me? The reality is there has to be a give and take in relationships. And I think a lot of people don't understand that, or they think they're too big. Like I'm all that. So I don't need to do the good give and take. And I rebuke that. No, there is a give and take in our relationships. And that's that. I like a warrior. So I like somebody who is strong, and somebody who is disciplined and focused, but also has a soft side. King David was a man that was somebody who was strong. He was emotional, but he was also, he was a warrior. He was known for the battles that he won, but he was also a heart player, So there's that both. There's that balance, So that's both. That's all I'm gonna say. But those are the things I want in a man. I know that sounds like a lot, but it's more like character qualities than anything else. Because character really is what matters the most. Some people they very selfish in relationships. They're only about getting their needs met. I don't want nobody like that. Like if you gonna I want my needs met too. We both need to be meeting each other's needs. That's how I feel. Okay, Benji. Thank you for the super chat. Benji says, how can we get a one-on-one talk with you? Benji, we do coaching, so that you can go on my website. It's lovesamanthalee.com. And fill out an interest form to do one-on-one coaching, virtual coaching with me. There is a cost associated with that, but you can do a one-on-one coaching call with me. So Sam wants that gangster in public and a soft teddy bear in private. I don't want a gangster. Look, I'm not I wouldn't say a gangster, but Sam, I'm a little rough around the edges. I need somebody with a little rough around the edginess energy. You know what I'm saying? I like that. But I would say somebody that just has a strong presence. I like that. Somebody is, you don't have to be like, I don't like it when they're so overt. It's like they're doing too much. Like I'm trying to exert. Real power don't have to speak, family. Real power just is. It is. It don't have to be announced. It don't have to be pronounced. It is. And so when a man has strength and power, he just shows up. He walk up in a room and he just shows up. Like that. Like, what's up? I'm here, baby. And everybody's like, oh. And they just notice him. They're like, oh, he done showed up on them. He done showed up on us. That's what real ones do. They're strong and silent. They don't have to be announced. I like that. I like that type of energy. They don't gotta play an instrument, but y'all know what I'm saying. Battle tested. Love that. But anyway, guys, that's that question. I already said the coaching call. Is there another question before we go? I want to make sure when we get to that hour and 30 mark, I want to make sure that I've answered all the questions. Leadership, very important, very important. You know, at this point in my life, I'll be honest with you, I think I'm very picky about who I want in my space, who I want in my life. I don't just want anybody in my life. I want somebody that makes sense for me. And so if there's anything about you that makes my spirit a little bit off, I look into it. Because I want to make the right decisions. Women want a man that look like Tyson Beckford or Ricky Whittle or Mario Lopez. Now, Travis, somebody said stepdad license. Y'all know I got a baby. Okay, so I don't hide. I'm not one of these women that be hiding that I got a baby. I am an active mother. Now, I think it's important that if a woman is a mother, she's an active one. I do believe that. Because that signifies what she'll be to your kids if you decide to have children with her, right? So yes, if I have a child and you trying to be in my life and the man in my world, you got to be okay with me having kids. But I really prefer a man who has kids. I really do. I prefer that. It doesn't have to be that, but I prefer that. But you understand what it takes to have, the mental real estate it takes to have a child. Can you send link in chat? Is lovesamanthalee.com, Benji? Lovesamanthalee.com. Oh, Pam just put in the chat. My bad. Do you have any good dating advice in your 30s? Any good questions to find a husband or to weed them out fast? Yeah, I mean, I have my whole channel's dating advice, really. But I would say trust your discernment. Trust your gut. I would say good questions to find a husband. I think we do too much asking questions, family. It's not about asking questions, about observing people. People tell on themselves, right? So you don't have to ask the right question to get the right answer. Because in the beginning, everybody going to tell you what you want to hear anyway. It's about like, okay, I'm going to see the fruits of, and y'all, I don't like listen to what people say about other people. That's a part of it, but people I've been talked about too. Anybody that got anything going on, you're going to be talked about. People going to have something negative to say. So that's not where I'm going with that. I want to know what you say about you, what comes out of your mouth about you. And that's how I make the decisions moving forward. So I observe. I'm observing you. I'm observing how you move. I'm observing you because I feel like that's one of the biggest things. I think a lot of us, we just trying to find somebody and we're just settling with the first person that comes into our life that says the right stuff. No, I'm observing you. I'm observing. You pace it out. And yeah, so that's what I would say. Use your discernment, use your gut. Don't be trying so hard to lock something down that you ignore red flags. No, like pace it out, observe. That's what I'm saying, y'all. Read the room. A lot of us women, sometimes we want these, like, there's dating card games, all these different. I believe good conversations are important. I've learned a lot more about people by just watching them. Watching them. Let me see how you move. Okay, you got some, there's some adversity that has hit your life. How do you respond to adversity? How do you respond to people saying negative things about you? How do you respond to good times? What do you value? Are you hardworking? Actions speak much louder than words. You can say whatever, but what are your actions? Like, I've met people that say a lot of things like, oh, I could do better than the man I'm with, but you don't leave them. So you obviously don't believe that you can do better. Oh, I can find another job tomorrow. Okay, but you still haven't left your job. You've been there for 20 years. People that will tell me, "Oh, Sam, I could do. I'm this and I'm that. I'm blah, 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 blah." Okay, but none of your actions speak to that. None of them. So at the end of the day, I don't care what you say. What are you doing? You could tell me anything. What are you doing? I want to lose 50 pounds. What are you doing to lose it? I want to become a millionaire. What are you doing to make it? I want to get closer to God. What are you doing to get closer to God? I don't want to hear what you have to say about it. I really want to know what you're doing. Faith without works is dead. It don't matter what you tell me. What are you doing? People be saying, they can say a lot of things. I don't do all that. I'm about that. Like, let me see your actions. Let me see what you're gonna do. Let me see it. Because people could tell you anything. They could tell you anything. It's about what they do. Yeah, I love King David. Y'all know that's one of my favorite. I feel like I have King David traits. I really do. What do women do when they want sex, or are they just teasing? Ninja, I think women are pretty overt. And I don't think as a man you should push it. If you're smart, don't push it at all. Act like you don't want it. You're a smart man, you'll act like you don't want it. If it comes down to it, if a woman wants to give it to you, she'll give it to you faster. When men act like they want sex really bad, like I saw something the other day and it really just put me off about somebody because of the way they talked about sex. It's like, ugh, like you sound thirsty for it. It's actually disgusting. Like, you don't want to sound like that. You want to just act like you're not pressed about it at all. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But you almost want to act like you don't want it at all. You'll get it faster that way. That's the problem with a lot of guys. What they do is they try to press you into it. And then they're like, it's almost like a child when we were growing up. If a parent tried to force you to break up with your high school boyfriend, you never did it. When they left you alone, you broke up with them the next day. It's the same concept. Don't press it. Let it happen. Let it flow. Act like you don't want it. Act like you're like, I'm good. You're more likely to get it that way. It is going to be better that way. For real. When guys are too, it's so not attractive. So not attractive. Angelica said absolutely, because if you chase it, it repels 100%. Amin says she's right. Works all the time. I'm telling y'all, it's the truth. I'm telling y'all, I know. I know this. When guys, I tell guys this all the time. And when they listen to me, they see the result. When they don't see the result. Women don't like it when you press them. Let them come after you. Let them initiate. Let them start it. It'll happen way faster that way. Don't bring it up. Act like it's like not even on your mind. What dating advice would you give your daughter when she gets older, Sam? This is the last one I'm going to answer. What dating advice would you give your daughter when she gets older, Sam? It's a great question, Lanaya. Hmm. I think the first thing I would tell her is dating is evaluation. It's not, when you're dating somebody, you are evaluating it. Don't ever feel pressured to make a decision. Don't allow nobody to pressure you to make a decision. It's evaluating. You are constantly evaluating at every step of the situation. You are evaluating whether or not this person is for you or not. And don't allow anybody to pressure you into anything you are not ready for. If you are not ready for it and they're pressuring you and they're shaming you into compliance, that's not a person that actually loves you or wants what's best for you. I would hope to foster it. Honestly, Lanai, if I'm being real with you, I would hope that the best dating advice I could give her is my example. I would hope that I do this process so right, moving into my next chapter of my life. I would hope that I do that so right that she knows what to do because mommy did it right. That's why I would hope. I would hope that I'm so responsible at this part of my life, fostering this season of my life and choosing who will be my next person in my life. I pray that she just looks at that and is like, okay, I see by example. Like my mommy didn't just settle for whatever. My mommy, did this and did that and respected herself and didn't allow nobody to disrespect her and had boundaries, had standards, things like that. I would hope that my example would be my best dating advice for my daughter. All right, y'all. So anyway, guys, I hope that y'all had fun tonight. We have had quite a show. I want to go and make sure that we have the chat. We have the Cash App. Make sure we're updated. And I say thank you to everybody. I see Ariel, Fee Eagle. Thank you so much, Ariel, for sending me for hitting me with the Cash App. Thank you so much. John Alexander, thank you so much for hitting me. Thank you guys for sewing into me to the Cash App. And we also have Benji who hit me up on live with the super chat. So thank you guys for sewing into me, for supporting the show. I love y'all so much. I actually have love for you, Sam. You've helped me. I have love for you too, Patrick. I have love for you too. And so I want to say thank you guys. Let's have a good night. And y'all, please, before I get off, everybody that's on here, if you have an idea for content, if you have an idea for something that I could talk about moving forward, that is a topic you want me to discuss, that you think would be a great conversation for all of us, please write the email teamlovesamanthalee@gmail.com. Let us know what you want us to talk about. If it's a specific situation you want me to address, I will answer it here. I will keep your information anonymous, but I want to answer the questions that are a best service for you. Okay, so please hit me up. I want to help y'all. teamlovesamanthalee@gmail.com. Reach out to us. We definitely, definitely, definitely want to be of service for you guys. Okay. All right, family. Y'all have a good night tonight. And I will see you guys next Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Same time, same place. And I will talk to you guys soon.